Meanwhile, the Guyana Elections Commission is hoping to conclude the national recount of votes cast at the March 2, 2020 general elections within another 2 weeks, with June 13 as the projected date.
While the actual recount will conclude in another 2 weeks' time, GECOM Commissioner Vincent Alexander said the process will only be fully completed after a thorough examination of the report by the Chief Elections Officer. While a section of the Commission is hoping for a final declaration after the recount, Alexander said that a detailed consideration will have to be given to the host of issues contained in the observation report.
Those reports have a plethora of issues that we have to categorize and to deal with. We have to deal with issues of the stubs that are found in a particular ballot box, not corresponding with the number of ballots. That's a reality. We have to deal with issues where significant numbers of ballots found themselves unstamped with a 6-digit stamp. Now, in a sense, we took a position on the matter, but you have situations where in a box, half of the ballots representing probably the general election are stamped, and the other half are not stamped.
Upon completion of the process, Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield will be required to present a report comprising the tabulation of the figures as well as the observation reports to the 7-member commission. The commission met on Thursday to review the national recount order, which was gazetted 2 days before the start of the recount process. The review was mainly to consider an extension of the 25-day timeline for the process. Alexander said, however, that attempts were made by some commissioners to interject other issues in the review.
We are going to have, in addition to 10 tabulations, which have to be brought together into one tabulation, we're going to have 10 observation reports. And those 10 observation reports have got to be discussed. And it takes time. If you see what has been coming up in terms of the volume of information in those reports, it will take time. And what people are attempting to do is to get us to write into the order a conclusion date that will obviously interfere with a thorough and conclusive discussion of what's in the observation reports.
Contained in the observation reports are objections of out-of-jurisdiction voting, the names of deceased persons being used to cast ballots, more ballots over voters, unstamped ballots, and missing poll books, among other irregularities. For InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.